So we're here with SES at MWC 23. JP, great to see you. Tell us a bit about SES.
So SES is a global operator of satellite infrastructure. We have over 50 satellites in geostationary orbit and 20 satellites in medium Earth orbit. And we've just launched the first 2 of our next generation of medium Earth orbit that we call O3b mPOWER. And this year is the big push to get those services launched across the entire globe.
Yeah, satellite's such a hot topic in wireless communications, ton of applications that are really interesting. Speaking of which, you have a demo here at MWC. What's that all about?
So one thing we'll make sure is that satellite used to be thought about this thing that was the point of last resort almost, it was poor performance, a little bit expensive, only used as a last resort. What we've done is make satellite truly seamless. It's going to take satellite mainstream. It's super high performance, it's low latency, and it looks and feels like it's over fiber. That's the big thing we've done. And what we're showing here is actually a demonstration behind us. We've got actually 2 of our antennas on the roof, so 2 antennas like the one that's standing behind us, up on the roof of the system. And we're actually connecting to our current generation of satellites, and we're showing things like gaming and video conferencing, and it all just runs as if it was over fiber. The performance is just off the charts. So that's what we're showing our customers, is how they show uber sort of demanding requirements, but delivered over satellite and as if it was just fiber.
Yep, okay, good stuff. And then O3b mPOWER, you have a second generation system. I guess first of all, O3b, just remind us again what's that stands for.
Yeah, so O3b is something we started almost a decade ago. It was to connect to the other 3 billion, the people who are unconnected, and that's still a fundamental part of our mission, is to connect the unconnected. And it's been really, really successful. But like anything, you need the next generation of technology. So we've been really successful with 20 of the current O3b constellation up there, providing services from governments to rural communities to ships to aircraft, pretty much across the board. But it was time to get the next generation. So we've worked with Boeing to get their real next generation technology and delivered that. And we just launched the first 2 in December. We've got 2 more launches with our partners at SpaceX to launch in Q2, and we're ready for service in Q3. And the big difference is you used to be able to do like 10 beams per satellite. This is now tens of thousands. So the scale of this thing is off the charts.
Yeah, and just tell us then a bit for this mPOWER system, this second gen system, what are some of the, I guess, use cases, customer types you're working with?
Yeah, so O3b mPOWER is something that really takes what we have today to the next level, and it's how much throughput we can have. We used to think about megabytes being good for satellite. Now we can do 10 gigabits per link. Again, they go back to, this is like fiber, effectively, but it's like virtual fiber. So the amount of software that we embed inside O3b mPOWER means it's completely software configurable. If you want a ring configuration one day or a mesh configuration the next day, it's press a button and it can reconfigure the whole network. It's a true virtual fiber capability. So that's something that has great applications for cell backhaul. So think about the whole conference talking about 5G and taking 5G everywhere. Well, we can do that. We can do 5G backhaul, and we've tested with people like Do and Microsoft with a virtual 5G core. And again, it behaves as if it was fiber connected. We do great services for the governments around the world who want things that are floating, flying, or moving. And again, they're running things like private 5G instances. So we can actually do a backhaul of the private 5G and have a community of connected users over the private 5G. And then we backhaul all of that to the nearest switching center and onwards to a secure internet. So, the applications are for anything that floats or flies or is hard to reach, and whether it's private 5G or part of the core 5G infrastructure. So it's just taking satellite mainstream.
Yeah. I guess another way of asking a question, I guess, there's all these hard to reach places and applications, but also observation we might have, the connectivity market is so important now to society, to businesses, all different organizations. Is there much of a market for kind of backup connections, resiliency? So you maybe have a building on-prem, on network,
right,
but it's a critical facility.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. So often we are the primary communication where the fiber isn't, and obviously that's rural things and things that are moving. It's very hard to put a fiber to something that moves, but the big application we have, anything from submarine cables down to headquarters of businesses that do have some connection, some terrestrial connection, but want to make that connection really, really resilient. So that's something we're using techniques like SD-WAN, for example, to make sure that we can balance across the satellite connection as well as the terrestrial connection. We do that on things like cruise ships, where we use geostationary satellites, medium Earth orbit satellites, ship-to-shore Wi-Fi, ship-to-shore 5G, pretty much any way to get off the ship. We bundle together in like a smart SD-WAN capability. So resilience is a huge piece of it. One application, interesting, is actually the use of private 5G for restoring the internet of countries. So one of the things we've done with Microsoft and the stand we have over here is actually roll out a private 5G instance that is to restore the Taiwanese fire department. When they have a natural disaster, they want to be able to have a private 5G instance for the emergency first responders to be always connected. And that's a great application of a edge 5G or a virtual 5G instance connected over satellite.
Yeah, that's a great example because Taiwan's got fabulous connectivity normal times. So with these different offers you have, who are your kind of key go-to-market partners, whether it's enterprise, government, telecom?
Right. So clearly we have different partners depending on which vertical, but even on the stand here today, we have Microsoft, we have BT, we have Orange, Telstra, to name but a few, and most of the telcos are thinking about us in two ways. The first way is how do they build their infrastructure? Where can they use us as their off-net extension to their 5G infrastructure? But they're really interested in the enterprise market. How do they have a seamless VPN for sites that may be 50 sites well connected by fiber, 50 sites that are not well connected? How do they make that look seamless across their corporate VPNs to connect maybe remote mining industries or energy installations, either onshore or offshore? So the beauty of having satellite feel and behave like fiber is they don't have to have a special network for satellite now. It's one network that can seamlessly work across fiber-connected sites as well as non-fiber-connected sites.
Good stuff. JP from SES, thanks for telling us about O3B and O3B mPOWER.
My pleasure, and we couldn't be more excited. This is the year that everything gets very real, launch the satellites, and now we're launching services this year, so it's been a fantastic show for us so far.
Fantastic, thanks a lot.